Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Ooh, show me your soul, baby. I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How expensive do I have to be? I mean, I spell it out before you get it, baby. Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back from a long weekend. Welcome back to the first day of June. Been a year since we've sat on top of this number. I am so excited to be here. It's a big day here on Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, of course, Lauren Michaels Harris. I'm so happy to be here. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world except for maybe Fiji. Keeping it real. Happy June 1st to all of you. How was your holiday? How was your Memorial Day weekend? The roads were packed, but a lot of us got out there. We did. We went to Michigan, spent the weekend at the in-laws. It was absolutely awesome. What did you do? Put it in the comments. I want to know. Was it not awesome to be around family and friends and just be able to kick it again? Yes, yes, yes. And wow. I was walking around the grocery store yesterday when we returned back to Chicago, and I was like, look at all these people in here breaking the rules, walking around with no masks on. And then I asked the lady, I said, why does everybody have no mask on? And she goes, oh, didn't you know if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask in the grocery store anymore, or any of the stores here in the Chicagoland area for that matter. So, yay, we're making progress. Yeah, I'm excited about that. So it is June 1st. A lot of, every month there's a plethora of awarenesses. Is that a word? Awarenesses of different causes, let's say, that are vying for our attention. And I've chosen two today to talk about. We had Christopher Bollona here twice before to talk about Batten disease. Little known, very rare disease. His son, Sebastian, is the poster boy for miracles and strides in the awareness of Batten's disease. I have my Project Sebastian bracelet on right here, and we're going to raise a few dollars this morning. So get your purses ready, get your wallets out. Bless in the manner you would like to be blessed. And I've got a gift for you guys that do donate, and I'll tell you more about that once we get Christopher in here. But so it is Batten Awareness Month officially starting today. We're going to talk all about that. Hope you learn a little bit there. Share this broadcast out so that we can help other people become aware of these two topics. The second topic is one that is near and dear to my heart as well. You all know what today was. It's June. So what do you think I'm going to say? Look up in the corner. Do you see the colorful heart? Yes, it is Gay Pride Month. And yesterday, there I am in, is it the same shirt? No, I have Stonewall shirt on. I did some PSAs yesterday for the Triple Nickel brand. I have their hat on. I'm one of their brand ambassadors. I'm so honored to do a series of PSAs that are going to go out nationally during the month of June, telling the stories of the movement, which started with the Stonewall riots, June 28, 1969. So hopefully you'll see those come across your Facebook feeds and on all of my social media pages. So happy Gay Pride Month. There it is again to everyone. So Christopher VELONA is here. And I don't want to waste any time because it would be great if we could raise at least a couple $100 this morning. Okay. A lot of people say, oh, but I only have $2. I only have whatever. This is a modern day stone soup story. Everything we do to be of service to others. I don't care what you have. You have an entire garden full of vegetables, or if you only have the pod that the peas once lived in, bring it. We'll find something to use it for. Bring what you have and watch how you get blessed just for being of service. Okay. So I want you guys to do this. Let's show our guest some love. Hit those hearts. He's coming in, and really pay attention. I think you're going to learn a lot and you're going to be touched by what you hear here. And especially when you see our good buddy, Sebastian, how could you not give some more? So put your hearts into it. Put your hearts on the screen as we welcome to the stage, Christopher VELONA, CEO and founder of the Sebastian Project. Good morning.
Good morning, Lauren.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Ready for round 2?
It was round 3.
Christopher was half asleep in the green room, and I had to wake him up. He went and got his coffee. I'm liking that robe. Are those reindeer?
Oh, these are
moose or elk?
Elks and mooses. Oh, Team Sebi.
Yay!
You found it. You found it.
Now that's a new term. I don't remember Sebi. I know it's short for Sebastian.
Oh yeah, Sebi was the nickname given right out of the hospital. It was my dad. He just was like, he's the magician. God rest his soul. He died from COVID about a year ago. Over a year ago.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you. But he was the guy that in the family gave everybody a nickname. So he immediately met Sebastian.
What's yours?
Mine?
Yeah. Quit stalling. Come on, mine. No, that other guy there. Yeah, yours.
Not a lot of people are going to get this. I'm called by my inner circle and family and friends from years back. I am called Gaga V.
Gaga V.
Gaga V.
I get it. Clear.
Yeah.
No, what is it?
So I'm the baby of the family, and
I get it.
Yeah, so there's 4 siblings total. I have 2 older brothers and 1 older sister. And during this time, we were so entrenched in the Mafia series as a child, especially The Godfather. And we used to watch The Godfather 1 and 2 all the time. And so one of my closest friends, Bert Hill, he just gave everybody names too. And he says, Chris, you're Gaga V because you're a baby. You don't know how to talk. And then there's David, who's the second line. He's Baby V. And then there's Jerry, who's just V. And then there's Chuck, who's the Godfather. So
Chuck got the best name.
Yeah, so it just kind of just translated, and everybody knows me as V or Gaga V in the inner circle.
Okay, Gaga V it is.
Yeah. So of course, so Chuck said, "Hey, Sebi," and it just Sebs, Sebi. So we when we first had our first event, we just said hashtag Team Sebi.
Okay, nice. So let's start with you introducing yourself. Just tell everybody where you are in the world, who you are, and then just take us right into the moment you heard the term Batten disease in relation to your own child and how it changed your world from that point forward.
Sure. First of all, happy Gay Pride Month. I know it's near and dear to your heart. I love your community. I have so many friends in the community, and I just
thank you for that.
What a treat! What a treat!
We love our allies.
Yes, I mean it's all about individualism anyway. I don't judge, but it's just
expression.
It's fun. I enjoy it. Gay Pride parade here in Los Angeles is huge. So nice hat.
Thank you, triple nickel.
We'll get into that later.
Yes, we will. I want you to do that. I'm going to hop off the stage for a second so you can look right into the eyes of everybody, because I know that I want you to really just pour yourself into this so we can get started on some awareness here of Batten disease and how we can help get the word out. Here.
All right. So thank you for that, Lauren. I appreciate you putting me on here for your platform. So my name is Christopher Bollona. I am the founder and the director at Project Sebastian. You can find us online at projectsebastian.org. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise awareness and funds for life-saving treatments and a potential cure for Batten disease. So just like anybody else, you have children, and I was blessed with two beautiful children, but my firstborn, Sebastian, normal kid, enjoyed life, met all the milestones, as they would say, and we basically didn't have any complications. The kid was thriving, jumping, running, playing, sports, soccer, baseball, basketball, the usual. And around age 5, he had his first seizure in Hawaii, and a family trip. It was very scary. We spent about 4 hours in the hospital trying to figure it out. It was a long seizure, lasted probably, it seemed like an hour. It was probably like 2 to 3 minutes. And, the doctor said, hey, it's normal. It's called a febrile seizure. He's excited. He didn't have much food. You put him in a hot tub. Basically, you caused a seizure. And I was like, oh, thanks. Yeah. So went back home, had a couple more, saw another doctor, a couple more, saw a specialist. And we were diagnosed.
How frequent were they coming, Chris?
The first series was spread out over about a couple months.
And that was the only warning sign were the seizures, nothing else.
Right, at the time, sure. And so
they could probably tell you 100 different possibilities for that. So
well, yeah, I mean, we all become Google doctors and WebMD specialists, and we, which is really not. I don't.
Been there, done that. Yes.
Do not do that, people. Call your.
I know, isn't it horrible? I'm serious. I got to quit doing that too. I do that immediately.
Yeah, I know. Information is powerful, but sometimes that information is bad. So double check your fact checkers, people.
Yeah.
So, we were introduced to a great team at UCLA, and he was diagnosed with epilepsy. We were like, okay, that sucks. Basically living in the ER, because as you know that when we have epileptic patients, epilepsy does not kill the patient. It's usually the fall that kills the patient from being knocked out or, severe trauma to the head or even suffocation. So we had to be vigilant and just kind of watch around. So we just had a series of seizures, and it was just ongoing, I think. And one day we had up to 10, and something wasn't right. And we started to see a lot of change in medications, and we were told so many different things, and progressively got worse over the last, a year and a half since that first diagnosis. And he just started losing his eyesight. He started tripping on himself. He started having trouble talking. He was striking out at home plate. He was missing the ball when you threw to him. He was slurring and, trying to talk, but nothing coming out. And went to the Jules Stein's Eye Institute across the street from UCLA. They said, oh, glasses will fix him. He just needs glasses. It didn't happen to be in his benefit. I'm sure he saw a little bit better, but it didn't give us any hope of why is all this still happening. And it continued to happen. It got worse and worse and worse. So somebody suggested in that team, they said, hey, maybe we should test him genetically for some other rare diseases.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time. That was like, wow, you know, it sucks. That was about 2011 in the fall.
2011.
Yeah.
So
So
about
then
10 years ago.
Yeah, so we got the proper diagnosis in that series of tests in the winter of 2011 into 2012, which was Batten disease.
Chris, when did Batten's disease officially hit the scene where they gave it a name and people started
Well, to my recall, I mean, I'm not a great historian on
Okay.
Dr. Batten. Actually, I think was the first person to diagnose this in a series of children. Don't quote me because I don't know, to be honest with you. But it was decades ago. Decades ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I want you to take a look at this for a minute. This is brief. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but there's a little bit more because we are bringing awareness to the entire month that is Batten Disease Awareness Month. So here's a little something that might help shed some more light from a different perspective.
The twins, Corey and Toby, are 13. They're on the go, aren't they? All the time.
Live wires.
Like any other little child, really. They want to be into everything, and if they want to climb a tree, they'll climb one. If they fall, we'll try and catch them. Well, Izzy's 8. She's a little princess when she's good.
Used to be very happy and very chirpy.
Amber's our little rock, isn't she? Even though she's 11. We're just like any other family. We have our ups and downs. Something wasn't sitting right with you, is it?
Toby was very problematic. We sent him for ADHD tests.
And just after that, the school said that the boys needed their eyes checking, so we took them to the opticians.
And then it went on to seizures. Great for these poor boys. What else?
We had a epilepsy appointment.
I can remember the doctor saying something about something disease. He said the letter out. And there it was in black and white.
He wanted him tested for Batten's disease, which we didn't have a clue what that was or anything. We've never heard it before.
Juvenile Batten disease, or CLN3 disease, is a rare inherited neurological disease that affects children and young adults. Initially, they develop normally until around about 3 to 4 years of age. As they get towards 10 years of age, they start to become blind. At this stage as well, they start to present with epilepsy. As the disease progresses, their speech is impaired, they lose the ability to walk, to swallow correctly. And ultimately, the children succumb to the disease around about years 15 to 35 of life.
It just hit me like a bus. It just like a punch in the guts. It's like, hang on a minute.
We got hold of the clinical nurse and she arranged our bloods taken for all of us. So I see her name flash up on my phone. She gave me Amber's report to start off with. She said, Amber's fine. And then she said, Izzy. And we knew.
Niggly feeling in your gut. Not my little girl. Not my baby girl.
There's no treatment and no cure for juvenile Batten disease. There's no disease-modifying therapy. This is a fatal childhood disease. There's very little hope for families who are affected. So as they see their child developing through the milestones of the disease, they know that there's nothing that can actually lead to a significant improvement in quality of life.
It's devastating. I don't think.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. There's a family with 3 kids out of 4 that have it. Are you okay, Chris?
No.
What's going on? I know how I know, but tell everybody, because I remember this when you were sharing with me about your group and what it's like every time you experience a family, whether you know them or not. It does something, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can just completely relate, and it's sad. It's very sad and it's very painful to watch.
Well, I imagine so. What really jarred or jolted me in that small clip of a bigger piece was when they said, there's no treatment, there's no cure. I mean, even cancer, there's a treatment. And how can there not be a treatment? So what do you do?
Well, that video, if you saw the timestamp, was 2017. So a lot has
So
happened.
now it's changed a lot.
A lot has happened.
17, 18, 19, 20, 4 years. Well,
Yeah.
that's encouraging. Maybe that will help put a flame underneath some butts here today, including my own, as to why it's so important for us to do our own small part, because they do use the monies for research, and it helps get closer. So what do you know today that was not known just 4 years ago when that video was filmed?
Hold on a second. Can you hold on 1 second?
Yeah.
I need to check something.
You guys, I am going to go over to something else really quickly and give you a little. Oh, wait, I don't want to do that. But I do want to come in here. I want to show you something. You know, we're splitting the time, not really splitting the time, but we're going to talk about Gay Pride Month. So I have something for you to see, just to give you a little insight about that too. And we're going to do a little something every other day, just about here on Bathrobe Moments, to help increase awareness. So why is Pride a parade?
June is Pride Month. Yes, it's time to wave the rainbow flag and celebrate the activism, resilience, and history of the LGBTQ+ community. Each year, a growing number of cities hold their annual Pride Parade, a march that often features floats, protests, and crowds of supporters living loud and proud. You might already be familiar with the history of the New York City Stonewall riots, the tinderbox that ignited the modern LGBTQ movement in the United States as we know it, and the reason Pride Month is still celebrated in June. Less familiar, however, is the history of the Pride Parade. So how exactly did a Manhattan riot become a march, and how did a march become the international occasion we have today?
How?
Let's dig into those questions and see what they have to tell us about pride, politics, and the ongoing evolution of community action.
Let's.
But before we start waving to crowds from floats, we're going to have to look back at the history before Stonewall. While the riots were a milestone in LGBTQ activism, there's been a lot of activities and events leading up to it. One important milestone was the annual reminder in Philadelphia, which provided a kind of blueprint for LGBTQ public gatherings moving forward. On July 4th, 1965,
my birthday,
somewhere around 40 people gathered outside Independence Hall. Dressed in professional attire, they picketed for gay rights, becoming one of the largest known demonstrations for homosexual issues in the United States at that time. Organized by the East Coast Homophile Organization, two of its most prominent leaders, Frank Kameny and Barbara Giddings, placed an emphasis on assimilation. Kameny had been dismissed from public service for his sexual orientation and wanted to prove to all who attended the annual reminder that gay people could be just as professional and acceptable as anyone else.
Okay, so there you go. There's a little bit of intel on the beginning of what today is Pride Month and Gay Pride parades and all of that. Stonewall. And I'm so excited while we're waiting on Christopher to come back. I think I showed it already, but I just want to tell you, I know the whole story now because I'm a brand ambassador. Wait, there you go. For the Triple Nickel apparel line. And I shot this yesterday, the first of a series. I have to go back next week and finish. And so does my husband, Brian. PSAs to help bring awareness around the world to what we're doing here. And Christopher Bollona is back in the house. How are you? Breathe. You okay?
No. So Sebastian just had another seizure. So
while we were sitting here?
Yeah.
How did you know that? Somebody texted you?
No. I have microphones and cameras in his room, so yeah.
Is he okay?
He'll be all right. Yeah, so this is just what we deal with. You know, Sebastian is very lucky in the sense of the epileptic world. He has probably very few seizures than most normal epileptic patients or any patient that's in the Batten world. So we have seizures roughly about once or twice a month, whereas normal epileptic children have about 10 to 100 a day.
Oh my goodness.
And adults, you know, probably have one or two every couple of months.
So
but I'm sorry about that.
Come on, man. Come on now. Listen, a question though. Because I, you know, we hear the term seizure. Some people have had them. Does the person experiencing seizure, do they feel it? Do they know? For some reason, I always think they say you don't know until you come out of it. But do they feel pain? What's going on in their world when this is actually happening? Do we know?
Yes, a lot of people will tell you that they do have an aura right before the actual episode that happens, where their body is going through some sort of a tingling process or a change, and then they have the seizure and they come out of it and they say, "Yeah, I had a seizure." And they know what's going on. Children, it's hard to relate that information because they're younger. But yes, he knows he has seizures. And he knows that we know that when we have a seizure, we need to take a moment just to kind of chill out, because it's going to take about a day to reset your brain.
Yeah,
as they would say. So
Christopher, I had asked earlier, do you know any idea? Can you give us one or two things that have where there's been some progress as far as what we understand since 4 years ago with that piece that we saw? What's different today?
Well, there's a lot of life-sustaining treatments for the better of the patient, and although that they don't stop the progression of the disease, they buy time in a sense. So there's enzyme replacement therapies for different types of Batten kids. So let me go back.
Okay.
There is 14 known variants of this disease, which means you need 14 cures. Why? Because it's genetic. So we need 14 different cures, possibly 15 now, for each variant. 1, 2, 3, 4, as you know, it goes on and on and on. And since Sebastian has the variant number 8, we're currently working on a clinical trial that hopefully will be available to the CNL8 kids, hopefully this year, if not early in the spring. But in the interim, there has been gene therapy replacement for Batten disease CLN6 children, which we have seen the complete stop of the progression of the disease.
Oh, that's awesome.
So still no cure. Like I said, enzyme replacement therapies are ongoing in CNL 1, 2, and 3, I believe. And what that does is it's a port into the brain that gives the enzymes directly into the brain to give the brain the function to remove the trash that the enzyme is missing. So every day we have trillions of synapses, and it causes trash from our brain, and we usually excrete them from our waste. But if there's no enzyme to do that, or a lack of thereof, they need to physically put that into the brain, into the port, which has been giving people, from here to London, a chance to continue to fight for a cure.
So I think I remember, correct me if I'm mistaken, but well, even in the video, they said there was no treatment then, but there are treatments now that are at least adding to the sustainability of.
There's a tremendous amount of research and research dollars that have been awarded to great scientists and great centers all over the world now for Batten disease research, because it is a rare disease and it's pretty much neurological. So they group that into other projects that have shown progress. And so Dr. David Pierce is one of them, Jill Warmer, just to name a couple of people out of Nationwide Children's Hospital and Sanford Research Centers. I mean, it's happening. There's Beyond Batten Clinic in Texas, and
how many children do we estimate are affected in the United States?
About every 2 to 4 in every 200,000 live births.
Okay.
Yes.
So a small percentage is rare, because they say rare. That's good. So
yes,
at least it's not. So let's talk about the fundraising we're trying to do. We're right at the bottom of the hour, and I have a goal. I'd like to at least raise a couple $100, you guys. ProjectSebastian.org is one of the places you can go right now and make a donation. Underneath on the ticker, you will see another one of those, and I'm going to make it even easier for you all by putting those inside the comments. And Sherry, can you help me out? I'm going to put the one in there. There's the one for the Facebook. If you could put ProjectSebastian.org into the comment, Sherry, or someone, thank you. That'd be helpful. Oh, already there. Thank you. Boy, you're quick. Quick draw, McGraw. Quick theme, McQueen. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So here's what I'd like to do to help you guys be a little bit incentivized, if we will. Somebody may say, like, I was gonna donate until you offered that. And I mean this. Listen, for the first 5 people who make a donation and send me the screenshot that you made the donation, because we only get the Project Sebastian people get a printout once a month, and it's about at the end of the month. So I don't want you to wait till then. I'll send you a copy, a free copy of my CD, Turn It Around. Has 10 tracks on it, all journey and message oriented. I think you'll love it. I hope you will, but it's our gift to you from Project Sebastian and from the Lauren Michaels Harris brand, Turn It Around. So that's for every person that makes a donation of $25 or more, starting now.
Thank you.
Okay, so take that screenshot, send it to me, and then I'll get your mailing address and I'll shoot you out your own copy of the album. Okay, there we go. Let's do it. We've never not hit a goal here.
All right. So listen, I want to just tell you guys some more stuff that's going on, what's happening and how you can donate. So if you go to the website or you go to Facebook for Project Sebastian, you'll see that we're having a coffee fundraiser coming out here. And basically what we're doing is that this weekend.
This Cup for the Cure?
Cup for the Cure, baby.
Okay. How did Shannon Elizabeth McGregor know about that?
She's probably on Facebook.
Have a good day. She what?
She's probably on Facebook.
What do you mean? Your Facebook, or is it everywhere?
It's everywhere. I'm trying to make this thing worldwide.
Shannon, where did you hear about it? Let us know. Put it in the comments. That's great news. Go ahead. Talk about Cup for the Cure.
So basically what my friend, he has a coffee company, and what he does is he raises money for fallen victims in the line of duty in police and military. And what he does is he does a monthly fundraiser where he gives back half the gate to the families that are in need of financial assistance. Wonderful. So he contacted me and he said, I'd love to do something like that for your kid. And I'm like, awesome. So this weekend, which is 4th, 5th, and 6th, from bell to bell, any items such as coffee or swag or coffee mugs from the website will be donated back to Project Sebastian. So we came up with a Cup for the Cure.
Love it.
Have a cup of coffee, spread some awareness, talk about Batten disease, get familiar with it, help somebody find some strength, hope. Send them to me at the projects at projectsebastian.org. We're willing to help you and understand anything more that you need. And then, this is just, I'm just going to keep going, Lauren. So this is the month that we're doing a ton of awareness, and we're starting to get some legs. So after that, this first week,
something real quick.
Yeah.
If somebody could share with me, if you go to the page, share the Cup for the Cure banner or flyer to my page if you could, so I don't forget, because I'm back to back after this show for the rest of the day. I don't want to forget. I want it on my page, so somebody out there can share it to me. We're friends, aren't we? Most of us. Go ahead.
All right. So
morning, Charles Maddox.
So then after that, the following week on the 7th, the LA County Board of Supervisors unanimously voted to recognize Batten disease for June as the entire month. So we're having like a little ceremony out here in Vasquez Rocks to do a little photo op with Catherine Barger and her team, which was amazing. Thank you for that. Supervisor Barger did that. And then on the 8th, the city of Santa Cruz Valley is going to be recognizing June as Batten Disease Awareness Month here by lighting up the city hall with the color of the Batten Disease colors, which is teal for the month. And then on the 9th, on the 9th, we have International Batten Disease Awareness Day. So wear your colors, wear your shirt, wear your foundation in unison with every child that's fighting Batten disease. As you saw, that family was from the UK. This is worldwide, and we just want to support every other family as we can, not just Project Sebastian, because everybody in rare disease deserves a day. I don't care what it is. We just need to help everybody to find a platform, find a platform like Lauren here. So jump onto that. So then after that, we're going to be meeting on the 11th here in Santa Cruz with Senator Scott Wilk, as well as the Congressman Garcia and the mayor of Santa Cruz for another.
Okay, got to put in.
Yeah.
Because the donations have started. I'm Mr. Haney from Green Acres right now. I want everybody to look in the back of my truck and buy something. as long as it says Project Sebastian, okay, or a
Yeah.
cure for the cup for the cure. I want to thank Sherry McQueen. Checked off, done. I want to thank Shannon McGregor, Elizabeth McGregor. Checked off, done. And anyone else, come on, let's do it. We're trying to hit $200. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That is nothing. Come on. $5. Ooh, Vicky Williams, come on now, get in there. Anybody else? You guys remember this, seriously. You may not think your little contribution of $5 or $10 or $2 or $3 makes a difference, but it does. It truly, truly does. Even a quarter shows that someone out there is hearing the message. And that can encourage those volunteers that work tirelessly to get our attention and let us know. It lets them know, rather, to keep going, because they are moving forward. Okay, so can I count on you? Share it out. Let's do this. I see how many people are watching. If we can't raise $200, I don't know. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I'm telling you, come on, get this CD. I know. If nothing else, if you have mice and roaches or anything like that, you put my album on, I guarantee you they're going to go somewhere else. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Somebody said, oh, let me order right now. I heard you. So listen, that's what we're doing. And Chris was here a year ago, and we kicked off the month. We did it then. We're doing it again. And we did really well last year. And I know we can do better this year. I want you guys to understand that every day that we waken, every day that we are blessed with life. Okay. What'd you say, Charles? They all got the sexy cup while you play. We are blessed with the life. So when we bless others, we are actually saying to the universe, to source, to what is greater than, this is exactly how I want to be blessed. So keep that in mind when you're making that decision to donate or not. Okay. Let me ask you, of course, I want to ask you when Sebastian was born and they were projecting and saying, well, here is the average life expectancy of a child with this disease. What was that age or that number?
You mean when he was first diagnosed?
Yeah, way back then. What was the life expectancy then?
Oh, well, you know, the data back then was like that.
That's why I'm setting this up.
Yeah, the
children. No, so
the children don't expect. They said that the 2 to 5 years after a proper diagnosis, the child should be dead.
Okay. So that would mean that when he was diagnosed, he was what?
Properly diagnosed before the age of 6.
Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say 10. How old is Sebastian today?
Well, this boy's going to be 18 on the 18th of July.
There you go.
So
that's why I'm dropping that out there.
Yeah,
because that didn't happen by accident.
No,
you know? Right.
He's passed 2 doctors' due death dates, as you would say. So he's not supposed to be here. But you know, it's not rare for these children to live past what the doctor's data would suggest. You know, you got a lot of parents and families fighting to keep them in the treatments, to keep them healthy with, you know, physical trainers, personal trainers, nutrition, specialties such as chiropractic, massage, trying to keep the body moving and healthy. Because, you know, when this disease takes over, it starts in the back of the brain, and the cerebellum starts to die, which affects, of course, all the fine motor skills, which we talked about that the child will lose over time, and the balance issues, and then the body just starts to eradicate because it just can't function. So we have a lot of sedentary kids who obviously can't move, causing further deterioration. So I saw that happening, and I saw a lot of children, you know, just sitting around in wheelchairs and stuff like that. And I was really scared. I was really scared because I didn't want that for Sebastian. And I'm not saying that the parents didn't do anything, because they did their best what they had to do with. But, you know, what if we kept the patient moving? What if we kept him training? What if we kept building the muscles as it was getting torn down? You know, we're basically fighting against this disease. So, you know, we put him in the gym, and we put him in a nutrition plan, and we put him into, you know, unorthodox treatments such as you know, Pmf pads and
what is a Pmf pad?
It's pulse electronic magnetic frequency bed. So basically what it does is it sends a pulsing shockwave through your body. What it does is it destroys all the bad cells and helps the new cells regenerate in the body that keep us functioning. So it's like a constant shock. So the body is jumping all the time, and we put in different parts of his body. We put it on his knees and his head to keep his body moving. So back in 20.
Can I butt in 1 second? Hold that thought. I got to keep the people picked up so that they will. So I want to acknowledge, because some people have to go to work and all that. So Tracy Randolph, thank you. 3 bell rings for you. Bless Sebastian, you and your family. Christopher, sending you love and healing prayers. Thank you for your donation.
Thank you, Tracy.
Right.
Thank you, Tracy.
And I also want to just put again up there, because I didn't ring the bell on them. Sherry McQueen, done. Thank you. And Shannon McGregor, Elizabeth McGregor, doing, and I'm assuming done. So thank you. Who else? Come on, I'm going to ring the bell and put your name up there for a shout out. Charles Maddox, get your wallet out. Dr. Janice Hooker Fortman, come on now. Let's do it. We're trying to reach $200 before the top of the hour. We have a little over 15 minutes left. No commercial break today, so there's no excuse. Come on, let's do it. Share this out. Let's get it done. So, how do you? What's the oldest person that you have heard of that has survived Lord Jesus. There, I had to do that to get it out right. Batten disease. I know Sebastian's almost 18.
Yes.
Who's on the far end of the spectrum as far as age?
I heard that there was a 28-year-old adult. Basically, I don't know.
Awesome.
But we know there's another child in Greece that's actually going to be having some of these life-saving treatments that's going on over there. And I was just talking about the doctor. Dr. David Pierce is going over there to meet with that family and that child about doing some new treatments, and it's incredible. You know, that mother over there is she's just amazing. Christina Duoma, and she runs Theo's Miracle for her son Theo, and they're an amazing family. And they're getting some treatment, headed up over there. So he's 23, I think.
Awesome.
I'm looking through my notes when we were talking.
Well, while you're doing that, another question. What I know that when they said we heard that blindness and that sort of thing, but I don't remember hearing anything about Sebastian dealing with that. So are there certain elements of the progression that hits one kid and not another?
Right. Well, unfortunately, this disease shares a lot of horrible elements of this disease. So most of the children suffering from Batten disease, not all, but most, share these commonalities, which is blindness, speech impediments, challenged in walking, challenged in eating, swallowing. So the brain basically is slowly dying takes away from all of these elements that the body normally does. So we do have blindness. Sebastian is about 95% blind.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. We've tried different types of treatments with the e-sight eyeglasses and digital content and all that stuff. It worked for a while, but as his blindness progressed from, another disease, RP, which is associated with this horrible disease, just took his eyesight. So
Christopher, do you find that when something is rare, because everyone says, it's rare, you haven't heard of it before, this and the other. Do you think that the fact that is attached to something, that it makes it harder for people like you, but easier for those who can just walk past and don't want to acknowledge that things are happening? Not my problem, or I'm already doing too much with all these other things. Because I'm trying to tie in why this conversation is so important, why awareness is necessary to grow the movement.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people stuff this stuff. I'm just keeping it real. It goes in one ear and out the other.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Every day. So to raise awareness, you need connections. And so the connection aspect is not about who you know, but how has this disease affected you or somebody you know? It's just like cancer, Unfortunately, everybody knows somebody that's either surviving or trying to survive or has died from a number of cancers, right? So the same thing that happens in Batten disease, people don't know about it. So they like, what is that? I've never heard of that before. I mean, anybody I talk to, they're like, what's that? So there's no connection with it. That's why, GoFundMe pages get, hundreds of thousands of dollars to save your cat because he just ripped his arm off. Why? Because everybody owns a cat. Everybody has a cat. Everybody knows that feels good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to save a child is like, you would think that they would jump higher into that pool of like wanting to help or give, but they don't, because they don't have that relationship with that child, and they don't have that disease that they can connect with, because like you said, everybody's dealing with something, and it's just another thing, and
another thing.
It's another thing. So it's my job to be his advocate, to raise much needed awareness and funds to get into gene therapy replacement, which is shown to, stop the progression of this disease, and we can keep the child alive and into adulthood.
Great.
So
awesome. So can I ask you a personal question?
Yes, sir.
Because this is important too. I don't want people to just sit there going, oh, those poor people are, oh. Everyone always looks at some type of tragedy, whether it's a fender bender on the highway or a building is burning or something like this, as something that happens to other people. So what I'm asking is, how are you today, as opposed to, because you have another child, Sebastian has an older sibling? Yes? No? Yes.
No, Sebastian is the oldest. We have a younger sibling.
You have a younger one. So yeah. before your child, Andrea, thank you. Another donation, got to ring it. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea.
Latte. Thank you so much for your donation. God bless you.
Yes.
So before this happened to you, were you anywhere near that mindset that I just described, where it was like, I'm not saying you were oblivious to things, but did it change, not just about Batten disease once Sebastian arrived, but when you hear about other things and that there's a relatable struggle? So how has this changed your mindset about the struggles that we have and how we get people to help change those things or better?
Well, I can understand the question.
You know what I'm saying? Did you ever think you'd be this kind of guy?
No. I thought, honestly, I would be that guy that was a billionaire working in the movie business, popping bottles on my yacht and hanging out with my friends all the time. I had no concept of what it would be like to be a dad, especially a rare disease dad, a single dad in rare disease. So my struggles, my personal struggles, go way back to, my drinking and drugging days. And I found the grace of God in 1996 when I got sober. And I was always involved in types of charities just based on my family. My father and mother taught me very well about, being of service, getting involved. So there was a lot of stuff that we did. My brother was a LA County sheriff, and then my sister was a teacher, and my brother Dave was a Marine. So there was always something to do or to drive awareness to help others. We worked the Salvation Army, all these different great charities. We worked into the pancreatic cancer field when I got married. Unfortunately, my ex-wife's father passed away from pancreatic cancer, so we got heavily involved in that. And then, then you're given this child. And so it was like, oh shit, now it's our turn, to do something or to be involved in a different manner. And, you're never really prepared, Lauren. You're never really prepared to have that devastating news that your child has a terminal illness that there's no cure. And you should just go home and be with him because there's nothing else you could do. Make his life as good as you can. And I just wasn't hearing that. I wasn't having it.
Now, do you run into parents, Christopher, no names, but do you run into parents who buy that and just lay down or just give up and just sit there and hold their hand and wait for them to pass on?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's devastating, and it destroys the human spirit. Either you're going to fight or flight. It's just the normal response. So without a support system, what are you going to do? You don't have any answers. You don't have any questions. You don't know what to do. So you just kind of just circle the wagons. That's
now
what
you're doing something about that too, aren't you?
Yeah. So
talk about that. The support.
So Project Sebastian is kind of like pivoting. That's not kind of, we are pivoting into rare disease. So we do want to help everyone in Batten disease, but also it starts with Sebastian first, but it just made us realize that we need a bigger impact. We need to help other children and other diseases in the rare spectrum. So Project Sebastian is now evolving and emerging into the rare disease space, where we'll now be a support system for other families of other rare diseases, not just Batten disease, but Sanfilippo disease, all these other horrible, neurological diseases, because I think that parents really need to connect with other parents. And I really think that, doctors need to share stuff with the parents, and parents need to share the stuff with the doctors, because it's very scary. And people are just riddled with fear that they don't, because they're afraid that they're either going to lose out on some treatment, or they're going to lose out on some gaining down the highway that they've lost ground. And then the child doesn't get picked for some sort of like upcoming clinical trial or some new drug therapy. So it's very scary. And a lot of people are just, they don't really reach out because they're afraid. So that just the inner turmoil turns on the family, and everybody is depressed and stressed, and it's hard. It's very hard. And the siblings, especially on the siblings, my God, it's so stressful on the siblings. We have to include them in the support system. They need a voice, because they don't have any attention. All the attention is to the rare disease child, and the other siblings are pretty much forgotten, or they're made to feel that way. So it's just it's very challenging, and we want to change that. So that's what we're trying to do as we expand. We're expanding our board membership, or we're looking at opening up a brick and mortar physical space for resource centers, and to just be of service to help other families get education, find some compassion, and get some support.
Well, Christopher, what do you reach for in your world when it feels like you have nothing left? Those times when you feel, and I know they don't just pop up in the middle of the night when the world's asleep. They can happen at noon. They can happen at dinner time. They can happen on the road. They can happen right here, like it did happen, a little bit ago at the top of the interview, when Sebastian experienced, a seizure just feet away in another room. What do you reach for? How do you pour into yourself so that you can continue on a daily basis, or moment by moment basis is probably more accurate, to keep doing what you do? Because it's not just Sebastian. I remember you telling me about every time, one of the kids in the circle, a family loses a child, how it feels like it's your own, and all the things that come with it. When will that day be mine, and that sort of thing that you can't get away from? So what do you reach for? What is it? I know you said you're a believer. You believe in something greater than yourself. God, I think you referred to it as. But what else do you do to stay grounded and to stay right there on the front lines of this cause, and the cause known as life?
I think that just having conversations like this is very important. And it's very easy to open up a conversation about, hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I'm hurting. Mental disease month was last month. And unfortunately, my son Gage was, diagnosed as severe depression. So, I think that for the entire world, how we get anything grounded is by asking for help, which is really, really challenging, because we do not want to be judged. We don't want to be ridiculed or teased because you're weak and you're not strong enough. What's wrong with you? All you need to do is get a job and take care of your kids. It's not that simple. It's challenging. So I think that conversations like this.
Thank you, Dr. Jan, for your donation. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Janice.
Oh, done. You did it. Yay.
Nice.
Thank you.
So it's just support groups are really important, but it's that initial, hey, I need help. But, here's what I would strongly suggest anybody listening about anything that's hurting others in your circle, outside of your circle. Just check in with them. Pick up the phone, text them, call them, say, hey, I'm just checking in on you. How are you doing? I want to see you. I want to tell you that I miss you. I love you. I want you to be aware that I'm here, and let's grab a cup of coffee, and let's grab a lunch or something. If we don't check in with our friends and family, we will never know what's going on. So, that first checking in is important on our friends and family and our coworkers and their families and friends and stuff like that. And that dialogue begins. That's like always starts like last night in the hot tub. This guy came and he says, what do you do? I said, let me tell you what I do. And he was like blown away, but he was very smart. He was in IT, and he says, how can we get the brain to retrain itself and relearn itself, but not, remake material inside the brain? I said, I don't know. And so, but it's hard, but it's simple. And if we get out of our own way, we can just do the right thing and extend the hand of support. Final question before we go back into making sure everybody gets over there and drops those coins before we get out of here, or after, if that's what's going to work for you. Christopher, keeping it real. Is it difficult sometimes, say you're out at the park and you see families or sons and dads playing Frisbee or throwing the old ball around, or do you ever look over to what appear on the outside, because we never know what's truly going in besides what we see? Do you ever look over and go like, why couldn't that be us? You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real because, every day somebody wakes up with something they did not have to deal with before. And there's a piece in there that people like you who toe the road, just keep it going no matter what. You hold a real gem somewhere within your space that I think many of us have access to if we only choose to have it. And that's what is, do you get what I'm saying there? Sure. Yeah. I mean, I was angry, very angry and resentful to be given this broken, diseased child. I was furious with God. And it was, yeah, I hated it. Well, look, Johnny's doing whatever he wants to do. Nobody wants to play with my kid because he's different. Man, I just said, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to have anything to do with him. And then it's like, there's half of, slapping me in my own face saying, dude, that's your kid, bro. That's your son. And so, I mean, these are real feelings, and a lot of people don't share that. So I changed my mindset, and I said this: my son's going to change the face of how we do medicine, and I'm going to make sure that he's in the front line, and I'm going to make sure that I am his voice. And it just took off from there. So instead of wallowing in self-pity and anger and resentment about stuff I don't have control over anything, obviously, I decided to get involved, and I started to get into action, and I got into this space and asked people and parents that were actually doing something, how did you do that? And I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just copied what they were doing, and I made it my own. And anyone, Lauren, can do that if you're willing to do the work. I couldn't have said it better myself. That is the perfect place for us to end this interview today. Christopher, thank you so much. I can't wait till you're back again. And if you've never had the pleasure and the honor and been blessed by being here when Chris is here and Sebastian makes an appearance, you've truly missed out. So we want to make sure we get him back one day so you can see. He's just so loving. All he does is sit there and kiss all over his dad's head while he's sitting there. I just love it. I love what you're doing. Thank you. I love that you are vulnerable, Chris, that, you give it to the world the way that you're living it, which means, you don't put on that donation face and smile all the time, because it's more than a 24-hour job, because even when you're sleeping, you're awake working the opportunities. And I get it. I just want you to know that there are those of us who truly get it. I mean, if I had a magic wand, I definitely would wave it over everything that you are working to eradicate. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate everyone that donated today. And don't forget just to check in with everybody and just make it a great day. Yeah, give my love to Sebastian. Every time I'm here, it's been that way since the first time I laid eyes on you guys. I have to lean in and I stare at it, and I just look at it from top to bottom, bottom to top. Your reaction is the genuine reaction that I always love to see. So thank you, Lauren. You're welcome. And thank you. You guys, on your screen and also on the ticker below are two different places where you can go and do whatever it is you're able to do. If you can't, do me a favor, you guys. It's not going to kill anything. It's not going to hurt. You're not going to bleed. It costs absolutely nothing to share this and these opportunities with other people. If people don't know about opportunities, well, how in the world do we expect them to do anything with those opportunities? Take that with you today. Get out and be the blessing you'd like to see in the world.
just look for the E and the R. Let's agree to try to take great to greater, smart to smarter, bright to brighter. And we do that, we're going to get there. Join me tomorrow morning from the UK is mental health advocate Adam Duvall. He's been here before, and he's coming back with some great news to share with you. I want to share it with you as well. So meet me out front on the front porch tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central, and God willing, we'll do it all again. Happy Batten Disease Awareness Month. Remember that June 9th is National Batten Disease Day. So
International,
right?
Worldwide, man.
There you go. So I'll be reminding you of that again on the 9th, and it is Pride Month. So be proud of them, whoever you are.
Nice.
Get out and be the blessing, like I said, that you like. And remember, be good to each other, but start by being good to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow, Christopher. God bless. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lauren.
To say hello to Sebastian for us.
We will. Thank you for that.
Okay, everybody, get out of here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.